Yo, how's it going everyone? Welcome back, Zach Lesage here from the Shuffle Squad. Today we're going to be covering over a deck that I really enjoy playing. That's going to be Lost Box with Radiant Charizard. Now this deck seemed to do very well at the beginning of the Scarlet Violet format, fell off a little bit, saw a little bit more success, and then everyone kind of switched over to the Kyogre build. One thing that I do want to point out is that the Kyogre build it's fantastic, but this build has a lot more space because we can play a little bit less energies, giving us some cool tech cards. I don't want to spoil it yet, but if you saw the thumbnail, you might have saw the Milotic in this deck, and I'm really excited to share that. So as always, we have lists available in the description. You can copy and paste those right into PTCG Live. We can also give this video a like, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel already. Let us know, comment, boost that YouTube algorithm, you know exactly what we're talking about. And we're going to jump into the video explaining the strategy, doing some gameplay, all that great stuff. So that being said, we're going to do that right now. Let's get it. Let's jump into this deck list. So here we have it. We have access to the Lost Zone, Sableye, RadZard, Lost Zone box deck, whatever you want to call it. That being said, we are going to be rocking with a traditional Lost Zone box line. So the whole strategy is going to be using Comfey's Flower Selecting with access to Colress's supporter. Look at the top 5 cards, putting cards into the Lost Zone. We could build up things in the Lost Zone so that we could use Lost Provisions to activate Spit instantly for 0 energies. We can also attack with Sableye, spreading damage counters around. And that's generally it that we're going to be focusing on this deck when it comes to the Lost Zone. So we're really trying to chase the Sableye to be using Lost Mine before our opponents. What makes this deck different than the rest? Well, we have Radiant Charizard instead of Radiant Greninja. So most Lost Zone decks are based off Radiant Greninja. This one, we are going with Radiant Charizard. So in the early game, we can attack with Cramorant a couple times, attack with Sableye. One of the other big changes that we have here is the addition of Spiritomb. So instead of playing a Drapion, which this deck traditionally would play, basic Pokemon V and play have no abilities. So we could stop Lumineon, we could stop Genesect. I'm sure there's a few others that we could stop, but this gives us our similar Mew matchup that we're looking for without having a 2 prize card liability in our deck. Milotic is a card that I think is going to start popping up into some lists. Whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to you or your hand. That being said, something like Iono will not ruin our hands. It just won't happen for us. Something like Judge won't happen. Roxanne won't happen. So we could do it against our opponent, but they can't do it against us. This deck has the most room for Milotic. That's one of the reasons why I think it's really cool. Pretty traditional thing here. Got a couple extra Lost Vacuums to get to Sableye a little bit quicker than our opponents. We've added Super Rod in place of Energy Recycler / Klara counts. So we have some ways to get back our energies and our Pokemon to attack with. We also have access to Artazon. Artazon says once during your turn, you may search your deck for a basic non-Roblox Pokemon. That allows us to search for things like Sableye, Cramorant, just giving us more searchability. We also have a Beach Court in there. So a little bit more of a sturdy build when it comes down to it. We do have a Jet Energy as well. So Jet Energy is a replacement for one of our cards. We could just kind of roll around with it, giving ourselves an extra mobility option to use more flower gatherings in a turn. Like I said, the list is available in the description. Otherwise, I think this deck is pretty solid. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I love me some RadZard being able to hit for a lot of damage with Combustion Blast as the game continues on. So hopefully this all works out the way that we want it. And we'll jump into some PTCG Live gameplay. Not sure if we'll get to more than one game, but we'll see how it goes. I wanted to show how this deck is properly orchestrated. But we'll see. I mean, Lost decks are pretty aggressive. Sometimes we get some scoops, but we'll see how the video turns out. Let's jump into this gameplay. Okay, so we're gonna start the opening coin flip, and we'll see whatever we get. We got heads. I think that allows us to go first. Yeah, we'll just go first here. If we play against Lost Box Mirror, I like going seconds, but we don't know what we're playing against here, and we'll see how it plays out. This looks like a very healthy hand. Comfey, some ways to kind of do stuff with Comfey. I'm excited. And we'll see how our opponent sets up. Hopefully they're just playing something pretty easy for us to destroy. A lot of decks just fold to Lost Zone Box because Lost Zone Box is one of the most consistent decks with Flower Selecting. And we'll see how they decide to set it up. Maybe they're playing an Arc deck. Arc decks typically are a little bit difficult to deal with, but we will try our best against it. They finally got their basic Pokemon. Pal. That's actually okay. I'm fine with that. So in this case first, we're just going to go in with Hisuian Heavy Ball, allowing us to search things out. They do play a heavy Iono deck. I do want to check out the rest of the prize cards. Nothing too insane here. So we are going to grab a Feebas. We can get set up with all of our goodness stuff. I am going to go with Fog Crystal here, grabbing out a Psychic Energy. We could stop their basic Pokemon B, but this is a basic Pokemon EX, so Spiritomb is only really going to be good in matchups where they do play a lot of basic Pokemon V with abilities. So yeah, we're going to grab a Psychic Energy. Sounds pretty solid. We're going to go Nest Ball. Nest Ball, I think I want to just grab a Manaphy. We really need Manaphy because they play a lot of Radiant Greninja action when it comes to this. We actually played 2 Manaphys for this matchup because they could bring up our Manaphy, Lost Zone it, and then use Radiant Greninja a couple times. And before we do anything else, we will use Flower Selecting on our first Comfey. We are going to go for a Colress's Experiment, so next turn we should be popping off on our opponents. We don't actually have a way to search for Feebas outside of Raihan. We're just hoping to eventually draw into it. Never play this card down when it comes to Mirror. You will get smoked. If you start with it, it's probably bad. But we'll see how it all plays out. Let's go Psychic Energy here. Retreat into this other one. And we're going to build up our Lost Zone count. So we're at 2 now. Hopefully we get something pretty good here. I'm okay to get rid of Klara because we actually have access to another couple copies of Klara. And we might be able to attack next turn. Again, we are going to put this down because I think this is a matchup where it could matter. They do play a lot of Iono. We also have Super Rod, so that's why I'm okay to get rid of Klara as well. Do you want to explain that? And we will pass our turn here. Another cool thing about this deck is that you could Super Rod back a Charizard in the same turn. Before, we only had access to Klara, so we could Super Rod back Charizard and draw into it again, or maybe play Raihan to get it out. This deck really seems like it's grown a lot compared to most other decks. And we'll see how it goes. We might be able to Escape Rope, not get a Frigibacks. If they just go Frigibacks, only getting out 1, we might be able to go... I mean, not Boss's Orders this early, but we could target down these Pokemon quite quickly. We do have a lot of ways, maybe like a turn 3 Sableye if they don't evolve right away. And you see, they went with Manaphy. They shouldn't have gone for Manaphy. They probably think that we're playing the RadZard version. And that's okay. The Rad Greninja version, I should say. We're gonna pitch that. Let's see how this goes. Our opponent's really just like thinking it through. But at least we're not getting Iono'd here. We might not get Iono'd at all this game, and I mean maybe the Milotic will save us when it comes to this matchup. I know Gardevoir is quite a tough matchup to deal with when it comes to Iono. If anything, Gardevoir probably beats Lost Zone Box if you do not have a way to deal with Iono. So in a lot of cases, it does make for a much more difficult matchup nowadays. We'll see. They're just going to be making their search here. I'm okay with everything. You might be wondering why we play Roxanne over Iono. I think I like Roxanne more right now because as the game progresses, I want to be low on prize cards. In this case, I think that Iono would probably be difficult to deal with. Unless we're playing it early game, but I want to be playing Colress early game. So it might be a 5th functional Colress, but I also don't want to give our opponent an opportunity to draw some more cards or anything. What are they going to retreat into? Oh, Manaphy. Ah, okay. So they switch into Manaphy to give it up, maybe realizing that we're not playing RadZard, or maybe that we're not playing Rad Greninja, I should say. I'm actually just not sure what they're doing, but we'll try to roll through this as much as possible. We don't actually care about Manaphy. So you always want to use Colress first to open up our options. In this case, I want to grab Beach Court, Sableye. I don't know if I care about Super Rod too much. I think I want to grab... I don't actually care about the Switch Cart here either, so I'm just going to put those two. We're now at 4 in our Lost Zone. I just want to double check that to make sure we're at the same count. We do need to find an option to grab out a Cramorant. So let's go Flower Selecting. I could grab out the Cramorant and it feels so bad to change this up. I am just going to go for a Milotic here to protect our hand a little bit. I am going to go for an Escape Rope just in case there is another Artazon on top of our deck. We're going to go Flower Selecting here. I'm going to grab another Comfey. We've used... I believe this Pokemon's already used its Flower Selecting ability. This one's used its Flower Selecting because we're at 6. I am going to put this other Comfey down, and I'm going to Escape Rope to it as well. They're probably just going to send up Manaphy again. And at least we'll have double Comfey down, and we'll have access to a few other things. Our setup here is a little bit slower than what I'd want, and maybe it was bad for me to grab the Milotic instead of the Artazon, considering we could have gotten an attack off, but I'm generally feeling okay here still. Let's see what Flower Selecting brings this time. Jet Energy. So this is going to give us a bit of a tough opportunity. At least next turn we'll have access to Sableye, so let's go ahead and put Milotic down so we're not getting anything changing here. And yeah, we'll put we'll just pass our turn away. So 2 turns of nothing, but we missed a Cram. Some of us play 1 Cram and they miss Cram. We did not get turn 2 Sableye, but maybe next turn we could start doing Sableye and really start putting some pressure onto our opponents. We could actually take a few turns off when it comes down to it, because our RadZard should probably be able to draw us 2 to 4 prize cards depending on how it goes. So we do have a lot of comeback potential. This might have been a little too slow for like Lost and Mirror, for example, but we also wouldn't be setting up Milotic. We would have definitely gone for setting up the Cramorant to get the prize card. So in general, I still think we're pretty good. With excellent play, we should have enough time to finish this matchup up. And they could have also just gone turn to attack with us. We certainly have that as an option. So let's we're gonna roll through this. At least we'll get our 8th in the discard pot or in the Lost Zone with this Comfey. And we're pretty close. We have access to Raihan as well. So we have some cool things going on. Skaters Park, nothing to really worry about when it comes down to it. Probably just gonna maybe attack with Chen Pao here. They could always retreat Chen Pao into something else. So I'll have to see how that plays out for our opponent. Cool. Maybe they'll just retreat into the Palkia. I'm fine with that. See, the Iono is not going to do anything for us. And that's fine. I'm totally fine with that, because as the game progresses, this Milotic is going to be saving us. And they're probably a little bit confused about what's going on, because Milotic is not necessarily like a very popular card. If anything, it's a card that I don't even know if I own in real life. I had to double check if I had them in online. But so far it's working. I know that's for 6 and our hand's not the greatest, but it is one of those things towards the late, when the game gets a little bit later and we're trying to finish off the game, our hand is staying the same no matter what. There's no item or attack that's really played to control our hands, so the Milotic is actually being super helpful for us. Our opponent has a lot of 2 prize card Pokemon in play. We can knock out the Origin Form Palkia V-Star, we can knock out the Origin Form Palkia V, and the Chen Pao. So I think we have a pretty good opportunity here to just like win this game. They're probably going to attack us just with Palkia, so they have to discard less things overall. And I guess I'll just continuously power things up. I'm okay with things here in general. We'd also knock out the Manaphy, then knock out the Radiant Greninja. 7, 5, 8, 3. Yeah, I don't actually mind attacking here a few times. So we're generally pretty solid if I've ever seen any kind of solid plays. So we win the game in 4 turns, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So we're going to set up Comfey here. As if Cramorant is the next card in our deck. We will be able to attack, so that is something that's quite cool. Let's go ahead and go Flower Selecting. See what we get. There's not much else that we want to be doing right now. Really, deck? You're really making this difficult. Put any basic Pokemon that would be discarded into their hands. let's go ahead here and go Comfey. We will go Comfey over so we can bring it up to the active. We're going to go flower selecting here. We're going to grab Escape Rope. And this, any basic energy would be discarded. That's fine. We still have an opportunity here for us to go Sableye. We have 9. Let's go ahead and go Raihan. We have Raihan for a Psychic Energy. We can get Psychic Energy, grabbing out a Lost Vacuum. So we can go Lost Vacuum, taking away probably just a Super Rod at this point, to be honest. I think that that's probably our best option. Yeah, we're going to go Lost Vacuum, taking away Skater's Park. We're going to take away our Cramorant, actually, because we can attack with Sableye. Now, hopefully we're able just to attack with Sableye for the rest of the game. Now we're going to put Beach Court out, bumping that away. We're going to retreat. In case they bump this, we have access for future turns, and we are going to go for Lost Mine. Lost Mine, we're going to knock out the Manaphy to start things off. So 4, 3. I'm going to put 3 here, and then I'm going to put 1 here because we can snipe that. And then I'm going to go ahead and start building up damage onto this Palkia. Think that sounds pretty good overall. So we're going to draw a prize card. Nothing serious, but we do draw a prize card. So whether or not we win this game or not, our deck is now in motion and we're able to function properly. We're able to utilize Klara next turn. So that means that we have another attacker. We're able to Super Rod back during the late game. We're able to draw cards with Comfey to make sure that we have options. So we don't even care what's in front of us. And we're not even at the Charizard portion of our deck. The Milotic's working. The Manaphy is stopping them from using Radiant Greninja. So you can see with these new decks emerge, we've been able to stop their Iono. We've been able to stop the Radiant Greninja. We're able to now outpace them on prize cards. Because they're drawing a prize card per attack, we're drawing more than 1 prize card per attack. So at this rate, we should be able to win. It's something that is very difficult to kind of explain or throw out at first, but we are drawing, like, we knocked out the Manaphy, and you can see that we had 5 damage counters left over. Our opponent's knocking out a Sableye and doesn't have anything left over. Oh, it looks like it just passed their turn. I'm not sure what happened there. But that's okay. We're just gonna play Hisuian Heavy Ball, and we're just gonna play another turn. I guess maybe they I honestly have no clue what happened there. They might have just been thinking too much and then it just stopped. We will knock out their Radiant Greninja to put us down at 4 prize cards, an even amount of prize cards. And they might still think that they have a chance to jump back into this game. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They might end up conceding this game. We'll see. Because they were playing everything beforehand. And if they do, they do. If not, they not. The only thing that would change about this game is that we'd be switching into a Radiant Charizard in the late game and then knocking out this Origin Form Palkia or playing Boss's Orders to knock out this Chen Pal. We could get them back with Super Rod. We can get them back with Klara. So I do think our opponent is going to time out here. But I think this game did show a lot about like how it is, how this game would play out. And it might not be Lost Zone Box Mirror. It might not be anything, but I do think this is a very solid take on the Lost Zone Box archetype going forward. Like, we have room for Milotic. We solved Iono. Whether it's a hard solution or a band-aid, we'll find out. But right now, I think it seems like it's a pretty good solution overall. Okay, yeah, it looks like they are completely struggling here to make anything happen. That being said, we are just going to continuously provide pressure with Lost Mine. Anytime your opponent's not taking a knockout, it's just a freebie turn for us. So what we want to do here is just place the damage counters. We want to place this to 3 because 250 plus whatever else it is ends up allowing you to get a knockout. And we are going to put this here. So you can see we can knock this out with a Lost Mine. We can knock this out with a Radiant Charizard if it evolves. we can knock this out with a Radiant Charizard. So we win the game in the next couple turns, but we have so many turns with Sableye when it comes to Klara and stuff like that. So whether our opponent's doing anything or not, it doesn't really matter, because by them not drawing prize cards, it's slowing our game down. So we're just going to take our extra turns with Sableye right now. So it sucks for our opponent, and maybe they DC'd, and I'm playing against a wall, but they are slowing down our condition, and all we need to do, like, we're just like one lost mine ahead of our opponent, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're in a, we would have won this game no matter what, because we didn't prize Charizard. We'll draw through our deck. We've only played one Colress, I believe. Yeah, one Colress. So I think this game is just absolutely, it would have been absolutely over whether or not anything happened, but we won due to our opponent being inactive. Unfortunately, we take those, but we would have won that one either way. And that's what we got going on for this video today. As you can see, Radiant Charizard sometimes has the opportunity to see a lot of success in games. Sometimes it might, sometimes it won't. But in these Lost Zone box decks, there are a lot of cool things going on, Radiant Charizard being one of them. So I do really like this build of the deck. If you like it too, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I mean, it really does help boost the YouTube algorithm. Copy the list below, let us know in the comments, share with your friends, all that good stuff. So that being said, we will catch up with all y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. This has been Zach Lesage from the Shuffle Squad. Have a great one. The Shuffle Squad proudly uses Ultimate Guard products. We think that their Cortex and Katana sleeves are absolutely fantastic with to play in tournaments. And of course, they have a wide range of products that are simply fantastic. Whether you're looking for a new binder, playmat, or if you're looking for one of the Sidewinder deck boxes you might have seen one of us play with, be sure to check it out. They have their EU web shop, and it's available on Amazon elsewhere. Head on over to atlascollectibles.com and support the Shuffle Squad by buying some of their products. You could get a discount of 6% off of Pokemon TCG booster boxes, so you could grab from a large selection of sealed product, save 6%, or you could save 12% by using code TSS12 on all of their Pokemon TCG singles. Atlas has a large selection and ships worldwide, so be sure to pick up your Pokemon products there. Use code TSS5 at ptcgostore.com to save 5% off your order of Pokemon TCG live codes. They have a great selection of codes available from all different sets at competitive rates. They get instantly emailed to you, so you can use them right away to get all the cards you need to build that next great deck creation. Again, use code TSS5 to save 5% off at ptcgostore.com. Have you ever wanted more content from the Shuffle Squad? Well, we do have a Patreon account. You can support the Shuffle Squad directly by pledging towards our content, whether you want to get access to a special discount code from one of our sponsors, or if you want to have access to all of our deck lists, exclusive Pokemon TCG articles, and more. You can even chat with the Shuffle Squad in Discord. So this really does help support the Shuffle Squad getting to more events, and we do have some amazing articles for you to learn more about. Be sure to sign up to play in the Shuffle Squad's late night events. They happen every single Tuesday night at 12 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. We have one that's geared towards more of an EU time zone and an NA time zone, but anyone's welcome to play. There's an opportunity to win a trip to Japan for the World Championships, so by all means, feel free to participate in these events for free. You could check out any of the links that we have available in the description. Get coaching from the Shuffle Squad on Metafy. If you want to improve your game on Pokemon TCG, you can absolutely test with the best. We have some of the best players in the world on our team. So whether you want to get coaching from Calvin or our current EUIC champion, Alex Szymanski, or anyone else that's available on Metafy from the Shuffle Squad, pick up some coaching today, become the best player you can be. Thank you so much for supporting the Shuffle Squad by watching this video. It would mean the world to us if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even leave a comment. You can also click on this other video from the Shuffle Squad to continuously watch and support us. If you haven't got a chance, check out the description to learn more about our sponsors, and that could also help support the Shuffle Squad. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a great one.